Bitcoin exploded after Trump's election victory. But is it too late to profit? As an investor with half a decade of experience, I'll reveal my next move and the opportunities that you cannot afford to miss. In this video, I'm going to show you the opportunities in Bitcoin and two other major cryptocurrencies. We'll also look through two crypto stocks showing clear technical signals. As an investor with half a decade of experience, I am now helping hundreds of investors and traders to spot winning setups through my Profit Punch newsletter. My technical analysis has helped my newsletter subscribers catch some massive winners. Like SMCI, we saw a 240% gain this year, NVDA 180% gain, Appfolio 250% gain. If you want more setups like this delivered to your inbox, grab my free newsletter link in the description. I send out my most profitable stock analysis every week. Now let's dig deeper into these three powerful setups that are forming right now. So Bitcoin broke out to all-time highs. I already told my subscribers, if you can see on the daily chart, I alerted them and I told them, buy this thing. I also told them to buy Solana. So you can see our buy, people are already in profit. But that's not all the good news. You have to ask yourself, why do we like all-time highs? Now, the reason why all-time highs are great is because there is nobody out there that is angry, that is on a loss, right? Nobody's waiting to dump their stock. That's why when a commodity or a stock goes up to all-time highs, it moves a lot. As we can see what happened to all the previous time Bitcoin went to all-time highs. You can see what happened. The last time it did this, it went up 1,500%. Okay, we missed that. Obviously, a lot of people missed that. Next time, what did it do? Went up 400%, 5x. Now, of course, this time, I don't know if Bitcoin is going to 5x, but we cannot deny that when it's going to all-time highs and on such huge volume, it has broken out on such very big volume, these are very good signs. So when we go to the daily chart, that's where we see where we should get in immediately. Right now, it's not a good time to buy because it's extended. We know it's extended because it's very far away from the 20-day moving average. Whenever a stock or commodity is very far away from the 20-day moving average, try not to get into it. If you want to get in now, the stop would be down here at 66,000, which is a very wide stop. So you're either putting in very little money and it's not going to make you a lot of profit, or you're putting in a lot of money and the risk is huge. So what can you do if you've missed such a move? Normally what happens is that when stocks break out like this, they don't just go up straight. As you can see, there's always a consolidation that's going to form later. So that is something that you want to wait for. Or you can just look into other crypto spaces that are blowing up right now, like Ethereum. Ethereum is showing something good. So what are we looking for? We like tight price action. We like huge volume breakouts that have very big volume. That is what we are seeing here. So these green bars that you see, that's a color code in my chart to show me whenever the volume is very big. And that shows that there are huge institutional players coming in. So right now, in terms of risk to reward ratio, Ethereum is something which you could still get in. Of course, you're going to have about 12% stop. The reason why it's good is that it has just broken above the 30-week moving average. So what happened last time it broke above the 30-week moving average? We can see it did a 130% move. The reason why Ethereum is not the best option right now is that it's not at all-time highs. That's a very bad sign. If other cryptocurrencies are going to all-time highs and Ethereum is not, that means that it's not being believed in enough. So it's always better to be in something like Bitcoin or Solana. But as we've already seen, those ones have moved. So this is still a good option for you as an investor to get in right now. So we see last time Ethereum went to all-time highs. What happens? It formed this big cup and handle. So we can say it broke out from around here. Went up 800%. So the money went up times 9. If you put in $10,000, you had $90,000. So this is a good opportunity. The breakout is on volume. It has broken above the 30-week moving average. That is a good sign. Now, after that, what can you do? So after those cryptocurrencies, let's say that you don't have access to the crypto market. One thing you can do is use a Bitcoin ETF. So one of them is called BITO, right? So BITO is a ×1 Bitcoin ETF. I already bought this one because I don't buy crypto outright itself. I normally buy the ETFs. But if you want a lot of risk and you want a bigger reward, you can buy this ×2 ETF called BITX. So BITX is a 2 times Bitcoin ETF. If you're not a professional, please leave this thing out. right? Because despite the fact that it's going to be bringing the biggest gains, it also has a lot of risk. So let's see what happened last time. So Bitcoin moved up 55%, right? But then when we look at BITX, since it's a 2 times crypto, what did it do? This one went up 380%. So it went up times 4, while Bitcoin only doubled around. So this one has very huge gains when Bitcoin is going up, but when Bitcoin is correcting, this one would have corrected 67%. You'd have lost 67% of your money, but in Bitcoin, you'd have only lost about 20%. So this is something which people who like a lot of action can get into, and it is still a good opportunity right now. Of course, that's on the weekly chart. The daily chart is where you see this is where exactly I should buy. So these very volatile ETFs that are leveraged, I would stay away from them if you're a beginner. But if you know what you're doing, this is a very good opportunity. But you have to always be very attentive. The next opportunity for you is to look at crypto stocks. MicroStrategy is one of them. We can see it has had a huge move this year. It's probably up. It's already up about 4.5 times this year. There's Wolf. This one has already moved, right? It's a little bit too late. There's Iron. This one has just begun its move. There's Coinbase, which I like a lot. I like Coinbase a lot because it has very good financials compared to a lot of the other crypto stocks. So my top picks here would be Coinbase and MSTR. But let's see how we can profit from them. So Coinbase, as you can already see, I already advised people in my newsletter to buy it here when it broke out on 222. But if you missed it, please don't be sad. Opportunities come again. So you can see Coinbase here before was moving because Bitcoin was moving up. It is a crypto stock. So when crypto goes up, crypto stocks will go up because they mine, but this one is more like this is where Bitcoin is transacted. So that means that they're going to be making a lot of money from that. I also don't know other ways in which they make money, but I do know that the stock follows the Bitcoin trend. So we can see here, same time Bitcoin went up. I told you Bitcoin went up 150% in that time. But here, this one went up 230%. So what normally happens on such big breakouts? What normally happens is that the stock will run for a bit, which is what it's doing right now. And then it is going to correct to the 50-day or the 10-week moving average like it did here. And then you can have another opportunity to swing trade it up to profit. Or if you're a long-term investor, you can use the 30-week moving average, which is this light gray line here, as a buying tool. So basically an investor would have bought it around here. Once it broke out here, it was a good time for investors to buy. You buy it at $63. Stop was about 30% down. Investors sell once it closes under this 30-week moving average. So investor would have held this thing all the way from $60 so they would have multiplied their money times 3.5. So we can see it's also investor opportunity right now. It has broken out in very huge volume, as I told you. Green bar means huge volume. The fundamentals are looking great. Look at the earnings per share growth. Look at the revenue per year. It's growing like crazy. If you want to know a super growth stock, anything that has 100% in its earnings per share, even 50% for the last 4 quarters is great, but this thing has thousands of percentages. That means it's growing a lot. And just to show you what can happen in such a high growth stock, this is something which I told my investors to buy, people in the newsletter to buy here around $93. Did I know it was going to go to $290? I didn't know. But you can see what happened. Why did it move like this? Even see my last markings. I last marked it when it was up only 90%. So why did it move like this? I told you all-time highs, great signal. As you already know, earnings per share too. Look at the earnings, they're great. Revenue is great. Let me add for you the return on equity. You need above 17 here. That is great. Earnings per share, you want to see 30% over the last 4 quarters. This one had it. Revenue, you want to see 15% over the last 4 quarters. This one had it as well. So that's what can happen to such stocks. So Coinbase is doing something very similar. And if it breaks out to all-time highs, please hold that thing and ride it as long as you can. That's what I say to her. Anyway, so right now, of course, this is extended, so don't buy it right now. Wait for a correction. It's going to happen sooner or later. The exuberance always dies out in the market. People get exuberant, it dies out. They get exuberant again, it dies out. So the exuberance is going to die out, will correct, and that's when you can get in for this huge opportunity. If you like this video and want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel, sign up to the newsletter for when you don't see the videos, you'll always get an email for when these things are moving. And please check out this other video, which talks about the philosophy behind me choosing these stocks. May the markets be with you.